Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it wonderful, making it positive, making it everything you need it to be and more, because you guys deserve that, right? Man, we have a very interesting show for you guys today. I got a lot of questions for you guys. And, of course, I have a bunch of pop-up videos coming out throughout the rest of this day because there's a lot of little stories that have been going off, a lot of little things that have popped off since yesterday that I want to talk to you guys about. And of course, there's still the conversation that I still want to have with you guys that I was planning on doing this morning, but I'm going to hold that for later on, hopefully this afternoon, if nothing else pops off. Of course, I figured let me get this one out of the way, and then we will go into a more serious conversation later on today. But anyway, I hope you guys are all well. I appreciate you guys for being here. And if you haven't done it yet, be sure to go and click on the link that's pinned to the top of the chat right now as we speak. Hold on, sorry. Still adjusting. It's been a little bit of a busy morning for me, so I'm trying to get everything together for you guys and give you guys a show this late morning, early afternoon-ish type thing. So if you guys are still interested, there's still a chance for you to win $100 right now. Guys, please go click on the link that's at the top of the chat, and it's also at the top of the description box underneath this video right now. Download the brand new social media app called Swagit. All right, download that. Follow me, the Pascal Show. Comment on some of my videos, like some of my videos, and you are instantly entered in for a chance to win 100 smackers. Again, the winner will be announced later on this week, so that you still have time. So go click on the link, download the app. Follow me, comment, and see if you win some new money at the start of this new year, because we could all use the extra cash right now. Let's keep it real, okay? And of course, a little bit of housekeeping for the show itself. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make sure it goes past 300 likes for me as you guys start to file in. That would really, really, really mean a lot. And do not forget to crush that subscribe button. Be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And you know your boys out here giving you everything you need, covering everything from pop culture, politics, controversy, celebrity interviews, true crime. You name it, we talk about it all right here. So be sure to hit that subscribe button because, like I said, I got a slew of stuff coming to you guys. In fact, I do have some breaking news that has nothing to do with this current topic, but I am going to still share it with you guys nonetheless because you guys need to know about this as well. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into these things, okay? Again, I appreciate all y'all for being here, but hey, I got some really good news. You know, I figured let's start the show off with some actual good news. You know what I'm saying? Some good news, for crying out loud. I think it's about time for that. Wouldn't you agree? So, as we already know, Damar Hamlin was he's a Buffalo Bills football player. He collapsed in the middle of a game, all right? He had a serious cardiac issue, okay? He was in the hospital for a good while. And now we got some new information that I want to share with you guys really quick. I know it's a little bit of a left turn. I know this has nothing to do with Idaho 4 or Bryan Kohberger, but I did still want to give you guys this information. This is breaking. This just came out about 45 minutes ago. Saw it in the corner of my eye. I said, okay, let me pull this up for you guys to know what exactly is going on here. And this is great news, though. He has been discharged from the hospital. It is great news. He's doing okay. We're going to get into this article so that you guys know a little bit more about this. So, As you already know, he was in this game. It's been a viral video where he has collapsed in the middle of the game, middle of the field. They postponed the game, all that. People were very, very worried about him. His health was basically touch and go for a little while, but he started to bounce back. All right. So this says right here, let me blow this up so you guys can see a little bit better. I was going to do this as a pop-up video, but I was like, I ain't got time today. There are so many videos and so many stories that are popping off right now as we speak. So I'm going to do as much as I can right now live with you guys and at least cover this story with you guys really, really quick. And nonetheless, this is still great news, the fact that he was able to bounce back the way he did. So Damar Hamlin was discharged from a Buffalo hospital on Wednesday after he was transferred there earlier in the week from the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. Okay, the Bills have said. The organization said Hamlin was admitted to the Buffalo General Medical Center / Gates Vascular Institute and went through a comprehensive medical evaluation as well as a series of cardiac, neurological, and vascular testing on Tuesday. And of course, a lot of his team have been wearing his number in solidarity, all that stuff. Okay. We have completed a series of tests and evaluations, and in consultation with the team physicians, we are confident that Damar can be safely discharged to continue his rehabilitation at home and with the Bills. This is apparently what Dr. Nadler said, the care team leader and critical care physician and chief quality officer at Kaleida Health said in a statement through the team. So, as you see, the Buffalo Bills have posted this on their Twitter, basically saying, obviously, this is some really, really great information that he can go home. So, Damar Hamlin, number 3 of the Buffalo Bills, is going home. Obviously, there have been some photos of him, obviously, in the hospital, recovering, watching his team play, and all that stuff. So he's been doing okay. Okay. So this comes his clearance comes a little over a week since he suffered cardiac arrest on the field during the team's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. All right. And the Bills said his heartbeat needed to be restarted on the field. We already knew that they literally were doing administering CPR and all that on him as well. But still, nonetheless, this is obviously great news. He woke up days after being taken to the hospital. By the end of the week, he was alert and watching the Bills game, like I just said to you guys, watching the Bills game on Sunday against the New England Patriots from his bed. He was released from the Cincinnati hospital on Monday. Okay. And during a press conference, Dr. Knight and Dr. Pitts held a press conference on Monday, providing the latest and most optimistic update on Hamlin's condition. They said he watched the game yesterday when the opening kickoff was run back. He jumped up and down, got out of his chair, set I think every alarm off in the ICU in the process, but he was fine. It was just the appropriate reaction to a very exciting play. That's what Dr. Pritz said as he was saying this with a big grin on his face. Obviously, a lot of people have been stepping forward, speaking out, hoping that he would be wishing him to get well wishes and all that stuff as well. But nonetheless, this young man is going home, and that's great news. All right. Fantastical news. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really happy to hear that. After hearing about this and looking into it more and all that. Okay. These football players are literally risking their lives every single time they set foot on AstroTurf. Every single time that they set foot on that field. All right? It's serious, okay? It's the Pascal Show, one word. Let me just show it to you guys one more time. It says it right here in this banner right here. The Pascal Show. You see it over there? At the top right-hand corner of your screen, it says the Pascal Show, one word. All right? That is the Swag It app. Go over there, download it, follow me, the Pascal Show, one word. Comment, like on some of my videos. Boom. Bob's your uncle. And possibly you win some monies. Okay? So let's get into this. All right? We got more to talk about. So, again, great bloody news. In my personal opinion, very, very happy about this. I'm very, very happy that he's going to be okay and everyone is going to be all right. Okay? So, Damar Hamlin, he's going home. Yay. I'm happy for it. It did bring up a lot of different discussions on healthcare, how these players are really taken care of by their teams and whatnot, which a lot of other channels have talked about in great detail. So I recommend you guys go and check those things out as well. But I just wanted to give you guys that quick update. Thank God he's doing well. And maybe he'll set foot. Maybe we'll see him in his jersey again soon. I don't know. But I say, hopefully he sits back, makes sure that ticker of his is doing just fine before he sets foot back on the field again. Okay? So I hope he takes the time that he rightfully needs. Anyway, let's get into this next piece, okay? We got to get into this, all right? Just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that information because that is really great information. But now we got some more information about something, about our main topic for the day. And the thing is that this makes me ask a lot of questions. Even more questions are starting to pop off. Okay? You see the title down below. According to an attorney, they're saying that the Idaho 4 did not know Bryan. So, in other words, Bryan they never crossed paths, like not never. See, this is the thing that makes you wonder even more. How would he know that the front door or any of those doors were unlocked or were even accessibly available to just open with ease? Because as you know, he didn't go into that house breaking in. He didn't fumble with the keys or like fumble with the locks. There was no tampering with any of the doors throughout the entire house, inside and outside. So it makes you wonder, how would he know, first off, that he'd be able to walk into this place all willy-nilly with no problems whatsoever? That's the main question I have right now. Because it makes it seem like he was hiding in plain sight. He was lurking in plain sight, yet none of them saw him. He was undetected. The other question I have for you as well is, and this is what I'm throwing out to the family, because you know I love you. But the next question I have is, Kaylee was talking about another lurker. You know, I have to use these code words. Was talking about another lurker. So she was never talking about BK. Never. So he was lurking undetected in plain sight. If these students never knew nothing about this man, those are the questions that are starting to pop off in my own head. Now, we got some videos. I got some news clips. We even got a little bit of an interview with Maddie's father that I wanted to share with you guys too. It's a part of the news clips I have, or the news video clips that I have. But it is still something very interesting. See, now B12s has said he found his target house. But see, that's the thing. It's so creepy to think that he just randomly drove by this home and said, allegedly, let's not forget, okay? Allegedly. He just drove by this home allegedly and said, that's the one right there. 1122 King Road. That's the one I'm going to go into. Other thing is, let's talk about the incident of him walking into that house. The act of actually walking into that house. How did he know that any of those doors were actually unlocked? Now, I know that these are homes that are, I guess they're known for just leaving their doors unlocked. Not anymore, but as up until this unthinkable, horrific tragedy happened, this was a town that was like Canada. Their front door was always unlocked, right? So I'm wondering, what the hell, was it just luck? And if he went to that house and those doors were locked, what was he going to do? Was he going to jimmy the door? Did he have a code to the front door? Did he have a universal key, even? Or a strange app that would tap into the thing, tap into the lock to unlock the front door? Again, many, many questions I have after hearing about this, reading about this, hearing a bunch of commentators, hearing experts, etc., talk about this. I keep wondering, wow, how did this guy do this then? How did he allegedly do this? Right? You know, because innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Sure. Okay. But those are the burning questions I have. Let's take a look at this article, shall we? Obviously, this is the title that I just gave to you guys. The attorney says Idaho monster or Idaho victims didn't know BK. Did not. So, an attorney for the family of one of the Idaho four said victims Kaylee Gonzalez and Maddie Mogan didn't know the suspect as investigators continue to search for a motive in this tragedy. The attorney for Gonzalez's family said that as far as he knew, she and Mogan, whom police said lost their lives or perished in the same bed during this unthinkable tragedy on November 13th, didn't know the suspect BK either. Now, one thing I want to say really, really quick, all right? I want to remind you of when BK was actually detained, when he was arrested, and we were all like, whoa, finally somebody, ba-da-da, right? We were going nuts, going nuck and futz over this dude. Oh my God, it's him. Who is he? Blah, blah, blah. And everyone's, including myself, doing breakdowns on who he is and what he does and so on and so forth. But in that whole storm of information about Bryan Kohberger, we also got a statement from Steve Gonsalves. Do you remember that? And he said that there was connections between Kaylee and Bryan Kohberger, but he wasn't going to get into those details as of yet. So how that's contradicting what we're hearing here. You remember that, guys? Hold on. I don't think I have it pulled up, but I'm going to pull it up here. Where is it? I got to find this again. Because, of course, at that time, he was like, you know what? There's a connection between Kaylee and BK. And then, of course, now we're hearing something completely different, which is very, very strange in my personal opinion. Let me just get this 1 second, guys. I want to make sure because I want to come in with receipts here. Okay. Come on. The internet, because of the internet. I'm trying to find it here. Man, I'm actually trying to find the actual article. I'm having issues finding it right now, but I even did it as a standalone video, if I'm correct. When the title of it, if I'm correct, was he actually lurking after? And I used the S word, but was he actually lurking after Kaylee and Maddie? Was he a lurker? Okay, I did say those things. Okay, so I'm just making sure because I know I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Okay, and I remember when I said this out loud. I was sitting there going, man, this is terrible. So on and so forth. Hold on. Yep. Nope. That's just another statement. But okay. If I find it, I'll pull it up. But obviously, just shooting this from the hip, I don't have it right now. But I did do it as a video, right? We did talk about that. So this contradicts this piece of information from the attorney contradicts what Kaylee's father said just like a week ago. Okay, let me see. Yeah, just about a week ago. Okay, little over a week ago, he made these statements. Okay. Now, actually, Carrie Bonvie just had a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Huh? Who would have thought? Using my own video. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Let me grab that. I appreciate you guys for sticking around and holding it down with me. But let me see what I can pull up here. What I can find. Please hit that like button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Okay, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. But I'm only going to take a few more seconds to look at this. If it don't happen, then I will try my best to bring this up on another time. Okay, but have mercy. Maybe it was a pop-up video. Man. Okay. I'm going to have to look at it another time, or I'm going to have to try to find it another time. But I did have it. Hold on. I did have it, but I'll have to look for it another time. Sorry, guys. I don't want to waste all this precious time of you just looking at me looking like in silence. That's not fair. Okay? So, he said in another time, okay, a week ago. And I understand we have seen Steve Gonsalves say a lot of different things over the course of this mystery, over the course of this case, covering this case and stuff like that. We've seen it, okay? Seen it a bunch, all right, of him saying certain things that maybe he shouldn't have said right at that time, so on and so forth, okay? Obviously, Steve Gonsalves and his family are going to have their own theories, and obviously they have their own information that they know about that they haven't given out to the rest of the world yet, even themselves. They know more than we do, right? But he said there is a connection. He said there's a connection between these two, okay? And so that's just what I remember seeing. Now, see, Okay, thank you, Casey. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Okay. All right. So totally remember. See, Casey, thank you so much. Totally remember and thought exactly the same when I keep hearing this update from the lawyer. Yes. Very interesting, right? It's information that you're kind of going, what the F? Didn't he say that there's a connection in all that? Now I'm going to lose my mind because now I really want to like find it because now there are other articles that are saying there are no connections with Bryan Kohberger. When the dad did say out loud, there's a connection, but I can't talk about it right now. I can't really talk about it right now, but there is a connection. Okay. But that's fine. I will try to find it here in a little bit for sure. Okay. Because I like to come with receipts. All right. And not sound like I'm just shooting from a hip or making up fake audio. Yeah. So let's get back into this. Okay. But this still shows us that this man, this piece of work, this monster allegedly did all of this all willy-nilly. In plain sight, by the way, undetected. And not once did anyone, from what we're hearing right now, ever said, man, there's a weird dude lurking over here and making things uncomfortable. And this is according to one of the attorneys of one of the families. Then on top of it, I'll say this again, the attorney for the Gonzalez family said that as far as he knew, of course, as far as they know right now, she and Mogan, whom police said, we already know about this, didn't even know Bryan Kohberger. Now, that says to me, because if they knew about this dude, you know for a fact they would have been talking about him. They would have been talking about him. And that's the other thing too, Pink Society. He has no record of any crime. He's clean. Super, super clean. He was able to go around undetected, do God knows what as well. That's from wild-ish, y'all. Terrifyingly wild stuff. But let's continue with this article. Kohberger, we already know, faces 4 charges of first-degree M in connection with their demise and the demise of 2 others, Ethan and Xana. Now, the other question I have to say, too, okay, I'm sorry, this whole article is just sparking off questions, okay? What if it wasn't? I know we're hearing about pings connecting to Kaylee and Maddie, but what about Ethan and Xana? Remember, everybody they mama has been obsessing over Kaylee and Maddie. What about Ethan and Xana? I'm gonna keep saying that. They had lives too that were lost. They have families too that are extremely upset and heartbroken and distraught and just feeling lost in the darkness right now. What if his focus was on them too? What if? We never hear anything about any of those things. Okay? Star in Texas. Found it 9 days ago. Creepy. Is that the start of the title? Up, I can't believe I'm even asking that on my own work. But can you just throw in the link or something? That I do so much content. If you can send it to me, that would really, really mean a lot because that's the piece that I would love to show to everybody and go, blam, see, in your face. I ain't crazy. So if you have it starring Texas, that would really, really mean a lot. That would be dope as hell. Okay. Wait, hold on. Yeah. That's hilarious. Hold on. Let me look at this. Let me find it now. 9 days ago. 9 days ago feels like a year ago. Real talk. It feels like a year ago. Hold up. It's titled too. I'm trying to see if Aha. So I did see it. It was right in my face, and I didn't even see it. Hold on. Let's see here. Hold on. It's two different things I got here. Because somebody else said one thing and somebody else said another. But we could take a look at this. Why not? It's me. So I need to email myself to make sure I can use my work real quick. But as far as I know, this should be. Let's see. And it looks like I got some love in Discord too. Hold on. I appreciate all the help, guys, because like I said, I wanted to make sure that I ain't crazy. Oh, you guys just pulled it. Okay. Welcome to the Discord family chat. I appreciate you guys coming in. So, again, I won't do that. I won't copyright strike myself. Trust me. Don't worry about that. But let's take a look at this. Not going to show the whole thing, but we'll show a portion of it. All right. Hold on. Oh, you guys are just joining. Bunch of y'all starting to join. Thank you for joining the Discord. There's a lot of great conversations going on over there as well. I gotta drop the quality, unfortunately, because that's just how it be. Let's see here. Oh, the other thing, I got to make sure you guys can actually hear it too. Hold on. This has no connection to the unalivings. Again, I'm still very, very curious about this, but let's get into it, shall we? Of course, this is Kaylee right here. So, Idaho police have looked into a popular theory, that one of the victims had a person following them around. And while the department thinks it found the. This is frustrating. Gotta love this internet crap. So let me try to find this in a second. Okay, I got a few things else that I want to show you guys and talk about in this particular article. Hold on. I need to turn this off. Okay. So as we talked about before, and I'll pull this up in a little bit. I'm going to try to find the actual article so we could just look through that really quick. But because my internet, for some weird reason lately, has been just janky as hell. So in this article that we already have so far that we've been going through, there's 4 people that were involved in this, y'all. There were 4 people whose lives were lost. So the question is, who was the actual target? Why was it why? What happened here, right? B12 says Daily Mail, December 31st, Newsweek, January 3rd. Do you have the actual link? If you have a link, B12, that would help me so much, okay? Because it just proves proof positive that I am not insane, okay? And we did talk about this, but we've talked about a lot of different things. Revolving around this man, revolving around the Idaho 4. So if you have it, that'd be great. That would help. Email it to me, put in the link, put it in the chat, tweet it to me, whatever. Okay. Let me make sure my Twitter is open as well. Okay. So again, very interesting stuff so far. There is no connections between the 4, or at least two of the lawyers, 2 of the families are saying this right now. But again, of course, we heard earlier something completely different. So let's continue on, okay? Let's continue on. So Shannon Gray, a lawyer, said on the show today, okay, I don't know of anybody that did know him. Okay. That's very interesting as well. All right. All those girls were social. They were involved in the college. They were working hard, waitressing, and doing different things. So the idea that he may have run across their paths, I don't think is uncommon. Now but you got to remember that person or him showing up and being there could have been something that just randomly showed up, like just at random, right? Like their passing could have just been random. He could have just met these girls in passing. They could have served him at the Mad Greek and did whatever they needed to do and he was just there in plain sight and maybe fell in love or it triggered him in some sort of way. But this is saying to us that this man was not caught as a lurker, y'all. This basically says he was hiding in plain sight. He stayed in the shadows. He stayed quiet. And that's it, which is absolutely insane and heartbreaking. But let's continue. At the time of the slayings, BK we already know about him being a doctoral student at Washington State University in Pullman, Washington. The university is about a 15-minute drive from the University of Idaho as well. Investigators say the campus police there identified BK on November 29th after midnight and connected him to a Hyundai Elantra seen near the crime scene. Students at Washington State are now questioning why police waited a month to arrest BK, apparently letting him remain on campus until December break. We find out later that he's literally a student on campus who's walking around with us. This is what one of the students said. It felt like they were trying to keep it from us or something. And this is, of course, an interview that I'm going to be showing you guys in just a second in a news clip as well. But yeah, pretty creepy and pretty crazy stuff that 5-0 would know all this stuff, and then they would keep it close to the vest, as they've been saying throughout this entire case, not warning these students on Washington State University's campus, not only just University of Idaho, but WSU. They should have said, hey, guys, keep your head on a swivel. This guy could be out here too, at least. Because I get that they have to keep things quiet, because the more information that they put out here, the more conversation, the more they put out. You know for a fact, Bryan Kohberger was lurking in those internet chat forums, was lurking on the news, was lurking everywhere, trying to see if they were hot on his trail. And guess what? There has been proof of his digital fingerprint everywhere in these chat forums that have been built specifically focusing on the Idaho 4 mystery, at the time mystery, right? And so on and so forth. Shoot, allegedly his mom, like put something in a chat forum as well. Like it's insane. Okay, it's absolutely insane. You got to remember, this stuff is very, very accessible, and that information is extremely accessible, right? And if you let people get that information, if you put that information out there, it's going to spread like wildfire. There's going to be content creators like myself and many other ones that are going to be talking about it like they're going crazy, like going blue in the face, okay? Talking about this nonstop. Of course. And then you got the bad guy watching and going, oh, so they're about to come and get me. Psh, here I go, going to Mexico. You see what I'm saying? So I get them being very, very cautious and quiet about everything. I get that piece. It's frustrating, yes, but at the same time, it makes absolute sense. Okay? So I want to show you guys this video. And of course, I got to jump in and out of this because that's just how it is, okay, for fair use type stuff. Okay. I'm trying to turn off this doggone Discord alert noise because it's really aggravating. Hopefully that worked. Whoops. Let's try that. Let's try that. Hopefully that'll keep it quiet. All right. So I got this other video that I want to show you guys. Okay. And of course, I got to hop in and out, of course, because these are the breaks. But apparently, but of course, they're echoing exactly that article, which is saying that the victims didn't know BK at all. That's why I feel more and more questions are popping off like crazy. But let's take a look at this, shall we?
As Bryan Kohberger gets ready to appear again in court tomorrow, the families of his victims are still looking for answers about a motive.
Obviously an emotional time for the family.
The lawyer for Kaylee Gonzalez's family saying Kohberger didn't know Kaylee or Maddie Mogan, as far as they know.
I don't know of anybody that did know him. All of those girls were social. They were involved in the college. They were working hard, waitressing and doing different things. So the idea that he may have ran across their paths, I don't think is uncommon.
Again, of course, I have to hop in here and say these things, of course, because fair use and everything. But here it is, though. Again, let me just say this again. Maybe he met them on a run. Maybe he met them at a random store. Maybe he just saw them walking down the street and just walked right by them and just became obsessed. You never, ever know. And then all of a sudden, he just stayed in the background and watched them as they went to their home and saw that their home was the party house, right? Or fell in love, or something triggered him, sparked his interest on these girls. Let's just say we're just talking about Maddie and Kaylee. God knows it could have been Ethan and Xana. It could have been Xana that he was focused on. God only knows, right? But he followed somebody home. He lurked in the background and he watched somebody walk or take an Uber, whatever, followed them back to the crib. And then remember, this was months of him allegedly lurking around and doing his recon work. So it was months of him figuring these things out and watching from afar. God only knows that he probably said, oh, this door is always unlocked. Who's to say if he actually walked up to the front door and actually tried the front door on a random day? Any given Wednesday, he just walked over there and just went, wow, it's unlocked. No one's here, though. Wow, this is unlocked. What are the chances? And all the while, these girls and Ethan knew nothing about this guy. He wasn't even on their radar. Zero at all. So one thing goes to for sure. He's a terrible, terrible, terrible criminal because he's made some very stupid things, leaving the sheath and all that stuff, right? Very stupid things. Very dumb criminal, okay? But he took months to plan this whole thing out. Which also makes him dumb because why would you leave the sheath if you had everything planned? Think about it. Everything planned? And you still leave the sheath behind? Other question is like, did he really need the sheath, bruh? Probably not. But he still brought it into the crime scene and did the unthinkables then. Pretty wild, right? Pretty wild indeed. Let's continue.
The attorney saying the Gonzalez family has been in frequent contact with investigators as they look to build their case against Kohberger.
Well, anything that we have, we send over to the Moscow Police Department.
Meanwhile, spring semester beginning at the University of Idaho today. A semblance of normalcy returning now that a suspect is in custody. But fears remain.
I'm a little worried about the safety here.
10 miles away from the University of Idaho campus, suspect Bryan Kohberger was pursuing his PhD in criminal justice at Washington State University. Investigators say campus police there identified Kohberger on November 29th after midnight, connecting him to the Hyundai Elantra seen near the crime scene.
before I continue with this video, think about this for a second. Think about this for 1 second. You got a whole slew of students, whole other university, 10 minutes away from the other university, okay? Or just about, right? That is filled with students, other young life, chilling in the cut out there. And suddenly, out of nowhere, these students suddenly find out the truth on what law enforcement was doing. They knew for a month before they actually arrested Bryan Kohberger that he was a person of interest, that he was probably their main prime suspect. But they gave no heads up to no other students out here, because you don't know what sets Bryan off. You just don't know. You don't know what sets this guy off. It could have just been a full-on obsession over students. Underclassmen, undergraduate students, maybe. Female, most likely. But his obsession could have been that too. What if he said, hey, I got away with this and I'm going to try it over here in my neck of the woods with these students right here. Some of my closest friends that I see all the time. Let me just do this thing. You know what I mean? But they waited another month before they actually arrested this man. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. Not sitting here trying to go in on 5-0. 5-0 did a fantastic job with all the work, getting the surveillance footage, cell phone pings, etc. You name it. And I get it that they had to make sure whatever they had was going to 110% stick on this mother lover, right? But there's still that part of it that goes, wait a second. There were still thousands of other students that were in harm's way because you still had this disturbing monster walking around these university streets thinking that he was untouchable. It's a scary thought.
Now, some students there are also questioning their safety and why police waited a month to arrest him, letting Kohberger remain on campus until the December break.
We find out later that he's literally a student on campus and who's walking around with us. It felt like they were trying to keep it from us or something.
The police defended that decision.
I will 100% stand behind the way that we handled this investigation.
With much of the focus on the trial, family and friends of the victims want people to be reminded that young lives were lost, like Sydney McLean, Xana Carnoto's childhood friend.
She's one of the funniest people I ever met. She was always outgoing. She was a friend to everyone she met.
Her father, Todd, who coached the girls' gymnastics team, struggling to come to terms with the crime.
I think it comes down to just basically why. There's no sense to it.
Meanwhile, Stephanie, some of Kohberger's classmates are now speaking out about his behavior last fall. What are you hearing?
Now, I can only imagine what the families and friends are feeling, especially the close friends, right? The people that actually were there, knew these kids for so long. I can only imagine what they're going through. It is a heartbreaking thought, but this is it's just crazy. And somebody just said a second ago, I'm sorry I couldn't pull up the comment. It just disappeared, but that they said something along the lines of, I'm sure 5-0 was watching at all times. And I agree. Most likely they were. Most likely. But were they watching him all the time? Were they really watching him for a whole month? When they started to figure out that this could be our guy? Maybe they were keeping tabs on him, but still doesn't stop somebody from actually trying to commit another tragedy, right? And again, they had to make sure that this was their guy. Because if that's the case, then they should have been following around Jack S., Jack D., shoot, even Joe Vidot, Adam, the guy who worked at Corner Club. I mean, Shoot, Steve Gonsalves too. I mean, they should have just been putting tabs on everybody then, you know? But I do see your point. I do see it. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Let's continue.
Yes, Savannah, they spoke with the Idaho statesman. These are students who would have been in class with Kohberger after the crime was committed. And they say that he was engaged. One of them says he was engaged in class. He sat up front. He was very academic. But then the student said he was also disturbed by his tone with women, that he was forceful and condescending. Savannah.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. The investigation continuing there.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the
Now to the
Shoot. Sorry about this. Sorry about that, guys. So what I was saying is what's very frustrating about this is that we don't know if there was really any connection through this. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm doing all this stuff at the same time. Okay. You know, I'm spinning many plates at the same time. So good looking out, guys. I appreciate it. But here's the thing. What's interesting about this whole situation, okay? What's interesting about this whole thing is that they knew for a month before they actually pounced on this guy that they had proof, they had evidence, they had something that would spark enough interest for them to look in his general direction. Now, the other thing, though, is that there were a lot of lives that were put at stake. Because God knows if he ran into another girl or saw another person that got him very interested. You know, it's like, it makes me think of the TV show You on Netflix. The Netflix show You. It kind of makes me think of that, where it's like, oh, hello, you. You know what I'm saying? Great show, by the way. But at the same time, if you notice, something about each person that the main character in that show sees, something about them that attracts him to them, makes them become the next you, right? God knows what could have happened with this situation if they let it linger even longer, right? If they let it linger and he met another person that sparked his interest, you know what I mean? That added to his obsession and whatnot. It's some scary stuff, guys. It's some really, really scary stuff. But I apologize about the sound issue. I apologize. But again, that was some crazy stuff. Let me slow down this chat really, really quick. Put this bad boy in slow mode, because I know you guys are putting in your 2 cents and your thoughts. Also, I want to say this too. Even though it is in slow mode right now, does not mean or if you are a member, you can actually go and comment as much as you want. That's one of the cool features about being a member, a family member. So if you're interested in supporting the channel and wanted to be able to talk and type however much you want, please go hit that join button down below. Consider becoming a member on the show. Also, do not forget, hit that like button down below. All right, please. Okay, let's get it past 800 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. A like doesn't cost a thing, but it helps the channel, helps this video get out there to the masses. All right, so please do that. And if you haven't done it yet, I don't know what to tell you. Hit that subscribe button, baby. Okay, hit that subscribe button. The other thing I want to mention too, really quick, before I open up this video here from Good Morning America. One thing I wanted to say here, though, is that tomorrow, Bryan Kohberger is back in court. We will be doing a little watch party type of thizang tomorrow for sure. We will be watching all of this madness go down and all that. I got somebody very special, Justin, on TikTok, coming back again to he'll be circling in through the watch party through that tomorrow as well. We are going to be watching it here as a family just to see what's going on and all that. I mean, we are not completely out of the Bryan Kohberger conversation as of yet. We will be soon, though, because it doesn't look like, I mean, the next time we see him in trial might be a year from now. It just depends on how quickly they want to do this thizang. But we will be doing a watch party together as a family tomorrow on all this stuff. So please be sure to tune in tomorrow as well. The show ain't over yet, so don't leave. We still here, but I'm just giving you guys a fair heads up on what's in store for tomorrow. And that is the number one thing that's going on tomorrow for sure, okay? And we'll be finding out more information, of course, around this trial, all that stuff, okay? So there'll be some very special people coming in and out of the show during that watch party thing, and one of them happens to be Justin on TikTok coming on to talk about all the craziness, okay? So let's take a look at this particular video. Again, this is a little snippet of the family, Madison Mogen's father speaking out and saying some lovely things about his daughter, and just they're giving us more information about everything that's been popping off. So let's take a look.
The Idaho College murders investigation. Bryan Kohberger, the suspect, is due in court tomorrow as students return to classes, and investigators share new details about what he was doing before his arrest. Mola Lengi joins with the details. Good morning, Mola.
Well, good morning, George. Those new details are shedding light on how investigators say they were able to link Kohberger, the 28-year-old PhD student, directly to the crime scene and the murder weapon. This morning, as the suspect accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students prepares to head back to court, new details emerging about Bryan Kohberger's actions before his arrest. ABC News learning from a law enforcement source that federal investigators observed him in Pennsylvania around 4 a.m. as he discarded garbage in his neighbor's trash bin just days before his arrest. Trash ending up being key in the case. Police linking Kohberger to the murders by collecting his father's DNA from trash outside the family home and matching that to DNA they say they discovered on the button snap of a knife sheath that was on the bed next to the body of victim Madison Mogen.
And before we jump into this conversation with Madison's father here, because it's pretty quick. It's not like a long 15-minute interview or anything like that. And I'm sure there's going to be more information or more of this video, more of this interview coming out as an individual video, I'm sure soon. Excuse me. But there are people out here that are still saying, and I'm seeing in the conversation, in the family chat and all that, still saying, some people, not everybody, but some people saying that this was him being framed, that somebody took this knife sheath and just randomly like, oops, I just plopped it into this crime scene and all that. Personally, I don't think so. I really don't think that there's any of this was someone trying to cover something up. Nah. Like, why would they pick Bryan Kohberger of all people? There were plenty of other students that were getting their PhD in criminology and criminal justice. There are plenty of other students that are socially awkward out here. Why would they pick Bryan Kohberger of all people? Then on top of it, you look at his track record with his cell phone tracking pings and all that stuff, showing the fact that he was driving around, lurking around that area and watching these girls, them saying that there's connections between the Kaylee and Madison's phone pings to his pings and all that. And I get it that it's a small town and all that, but that's very, very strange. There's too many coincidental connections for someone to just say, yeah, just get his knife sheath, throw it in there, and we got ourselves a suspect. I don't think so, guys. I really, really, really don't think so. But let's continue.
If I had one or two words to describe Maddie May, it would be just an angel, and that she just made me proud.
Ben Mogan speaking about his daughter Madison to ABC News and describing the moment law enforcement told him they'd made an arrest in the case.
And he said, Ben, this is the...
Hold on, guys. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Then something's wrong on your side because I'm not muted. Okay? Okay. Something's wrong on y'all. All right. So reboot the video or something like that. Hit the refresh button or something like that because I'm not muted at all. It might have been a weird internet thing, but yeah. Let me continue.
If I had one or two words to describe Maddie May, it would be just an angel, and that she just made me proud.
Ben Mogan speaking about his daughter Madison to ABC News and describing the moment law enforcement told him they'd made an arrest in the case.
And he said, Ben, this is the day that we've been waiting for.
Ben also describing his emotions while reading the evidence law enforcement say they had gathered against Kohberger.
I broke down and I just cried. I could only take so much of that, and I cried. I still haven't read the rest of it.
The police affidavit claiming investigators believe the 4 college students were killed between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. They say one of the surviving roommates was awake at the time of the murders and told police she witnessed the intruder, seeing a masked man coming toward her before he walked out through a sliding glass door, the roommate then locking her door. Police say later that morning, the 2 surviving roommates called friends to the house because they thought one of the victims had simply passed out and wasn't waking up. The 911 call finally coming around noon. Officials say the 2 surviving roommates are not suspects.
Okay. Now, this obviously is going back to the old stuff again, right? But I do want to say that father just seems like he's got a big heart. Seems like he really, really just was a doting father on his daughter. That was his pride and joy. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his demeanor. You can tell that man really, really, truly loved his daughter. And it's nice to see other parents of other families, aside from just Kaylee's family, stepping forward and speaking out more and saying just getting in front of the camera and talking about things. Because yes, this is all justice for their kids, right? So it is nice to see them step out, even though this is under such tragic and horrific circumstances. It is still nice to see one of the parents step forward at least and talk and speak good. Speak about the good times. Speak about her as a kid, right? Her as their daughter. It does break my heart to see the father. You can see there's so much pain, but there's so much joy, right? So much light coming out of his eyes, thinking about his daughter, Maddie. And of course, for all 4 of these students, may they rest in peace, of course. I'm sure they are sorely lost, right? But one thing I think is interesting, though, on this part too, is that still, to me, I'm not sitting here saying that there's anything. No, I don't think there's any wrongdoing in what Dylan has done or didn't do what she should have done, what she shouldn't have done, all that stuff. I know everybody and their mama can sit here and critique the hell out of the situation, but still, the question still remains. And I think this is the reason why people are looking at Dylan in such a interesting way, because they're going, well, if he didn't really know them, how did he get in the house so easily? How would he know that house was unlocked? And all those things. I'm not alluding to anything. So before anybody tries to clip this and try to make it seem like I'm saying something else, I am not. Okay. I'm just asking a very important burning question that I asked in the very beginning of this show. How did this guy get in here if he had no connections to any of these girls and Ethan as well? How did he get into this house with ease? He randomly picked this house out of nowhere, randomly walked to the door, opened it, and eureka, it was unlocked. That seems strange to me. It's just strange to me. Now, Doris just said he may have threatened Dylan. Yeah, that could have been it too. And like I said, I'm not saying that she did any wrongdoing. Not saying that at all. But she was the only one, allegedly, that was awake that heard all of this stuff go down. She has to have some more information, at least something. At least something, y'all. Because this doesn't make sense. If he had never been inside the house, they never said, hey, he was, I remember seeing him at a party. If there never was any information about him lurking around, being a lurker, and the girls, at least Maddie and Kaylee, saying, yo, this guy keeps lurking around, because now they're saying that there's no connections on that at all. And if he wasn't caught being a lurker, then how did he know that these doors would be unlocked, that he could go out the sliding glass door with ease, so on and so forth? Just so many questions that I have. Okay. It's very, very weird. And Ashley Oaks, I will take a look at that later on for sure. Thank you so much for that information. But let me continue with this. But still, that's the question that is still burning in my loins. In my loins. But you know what I'm saying? I feel it all the way down to the marrow. Trust me. I'm sitting here going, why? How? How was this successfully done? I hate to say successfully, but you know what I'm saying. How was this done? He didn't not jimmy no locks. He didn't kick no doors down. All these doors were unlocked. That is very strange. Then I heard from somebody else, and I don't know if this is entirely true, but they said that the doors were locked before all the unalivings happened. So how did he get inside the house without even busting a door down? That is the strange part to me. Again, still the inside of the house, I get, because I've been saying for the longest time since the jump of this show, since the jump of this case, I'm sorry, I've been talking about the whole idea of the open door policy. I've been saying that since day one. Open door policy. Maybe inside the house, their doors are open because they're girlfriends, they're best friends. I said Gilmore Girls. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like that. They hang out. They may spend the night in each other's rooms. Okay. Nothing salacious about that. Just girls being girls, right? Girls being bestest of friends. And maybe that was still the same thing. Their doors were unlocked, or at least Kaylee and Madison's rooms were unlocked because of that open door policy. Now, Ethan and Xana were in the same bedroom, and obviously they want some more intimacy. So sure, the door is unlocked, but it sounds like they opened up the door to answer or to see what the commotion was all about. What was all the noise? Kind of like what Dylan did. She opened up the door 3 separate times to see what the heck was going on. Why was there so much noise? BK went down those stairs and did those unthinkable things in less than 25 minutes. All of that, allegedly, we have to say. But still, inside the house, I get it. Outside, from him going inside the house, I still have many questions. Still have many, many burning questions. It's disturbing, y'all. And it's heartbreaking to even think this. Real talk. But again, hit that like button down below, y'all. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 800 likes. Again, a like doesn't cost a thing. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, please. And we will be doing a watch party tomorrow covering this whole case, or this his next appearance in court. We will be watching it together as a family. So be sure to tune in on that. Okay? Hit that subscribe button. But let's continue. Let's get through the rest of this video.
Overnight, Kaylee Gonsalves' sister, Olivia, saying Kaylee and Madison did everything right that night.
They went out together. They called for a ride. They went to a known establishment. They did everything you would want your daughter or your sister to do in that situation. You're supposed to grow up together. That's your God-given best friend. And so we're left with not only missing them and exactly who they were, but wondering who they were going to become.
On the University of Idaho campus, second semester classes began this week with heightened security. Meanwhile, Kohberger, who was extradited back to Idaho last week, is scheduled to be in court tomorrow morning, guys.
Okay, Mola, thanks. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. And Dan, that evidence from the trash bin so damning.
Well, because they were able to link that back to the crime scene. That's why it's so damning, is they've got this knife sheath that's at the crime scene where they find DNA that matches the family of Bryan Kohberger. That's why it's so damning. Now, this does raise another question, right? Which is supposedly this criminology student, right, who knows the way that things work. It shows you that if he is actually the guy, boy, was he bad at this.
Boy, was he bad at this. Man, did he suck. Man, was he bad. Let me say this, though. Yeah. To me, yeah, he's terrible. He was learning the way of the samurai. Think about this. He was learning the way of the Force so he can go to the dark side of the Force. And he still screwed it up. He studied under some of the most brilliant criminal like detectives, criminal minds, forensic specialists, etc., right? And he still got it wrong. Like, he's terrible. It's like he went and learned the Force and he's only using it to flip burgers. It's like, what? You did what? Why? Someone explain this to me. Why? Why would you do this? You know what I mean? He decided to take this and just do something so stupid, so reckless and stupid. Clearly, he wasn't studying enough. Think about it. He wasn't studying enough, guys. He wasn't. He didn't study enough because he wouldn't have left those certain things. He wouldn't have left those things. He wouldn't have left the sheath, which I do believe the reason why he circled back at 9 a.m. after 5 hours or so, less than 5 hours after doing these unthinkable things. The reason why I think he went back, yes, sure, people were probably thinking that he went back there to see the cop cars and the whoop whoops and the everything, you know what I mean? And seeing local media being like, I am Susan out here in front of 1122. Like, I understand everybody was expecting all that stuff to go down, and they assumed that that's what he was pulling up to. No, I am still going to say till my last dying breath, unless he says otherwise. But it doesn't sound like he's going to say anything anytime soon. I think he came back because he left huge piece of evidence, which was the sheath, which is the thing that he would put that weapon inside of, period. He realized, oh, dagnab. Oh, dagnab. That's what I think. I said it before in another show. Got done with what he did, was still high off of that, got home, adrenaline pumping, put the knife down, probably reliving everything in his mind, and then all of a sudden he says, oh my damn. I left something back there. Or where's my sheath? Where's the sheath? Where's the sheath? Oh no. And realized he left it back there. After much consideration, that's when he turned around and decided, all right, I need to muster up enough courage to go back to that scene and find it. And then he drove his lanky-ish back over there. But for some odd reason, maybe he couldn't handle or stomach the idea of going back in there to see what he had done. So therefore, he didn't do it. Because remember, a 911 call wasn't made until about noon. So Dylan technically was still inside that house, locked up in her room, quiet, petrified, or just paralyzed with fear. He could have walked right back in that house, gotten what he needed to get, and walked back out. But it's also broad daylight, too. Just saying those things out loud. Think about it. Some people are going, oh, it's an ego. He went back there because he wanted to see the aftermath of all this stuff. Maybe he did. But I also think that he left this thing behind and he's like, oh, my God, that's a huge piece of evidence. Damn. That's what I think, personally. But still, a man who learned the way of the samurai and he still couldn't even get it right. He still didn't get it right. He done mucked that up, y'all. Mucked it up bad. Let's continue.
I mean, he made mistake after mistake after mistake. And in this case, the authorities actually watching him. So not only do they end up with the DNA evidence, but they have an additional piece in that, well, wait a sec, why is he trying to bring this over to his neighbor's garbage?
It seems like they have a strong case against him. Could he try to strike a plea deal? And if not, as a defense attorney, how do you approach it?
Well,
Sorry, I have to jump in and out, but that's a very, very good question if you really think about it. Could he strike up a plea deal? Which that'll be interesting to see if they actually ask him to do that. But also you got to remember, not only was it the sheath, you also have the cell phone pings, etc. How are you going to explain that? He turned off his phone for a while. Now I understand we had our friend come on to the show, Danny On, who just kind of broke it down of like it could be anything could be excusable. He could have literally just said my phone died and then I charged it when I had access to some power, so on and so forth, which totally makes sense. Okay. Totally makes sense. But at the same time, still very dumb moves on his part, period. Very dumb moves on his part.
So first, let's talk about a possible plea deal. We talked about this the other day with George. The only thing I think that prosecutors would consider accepting would be a guilty plea, maybe to take the death penalty off the table. That's the only kind of plea deal I could see possibly happening here. But if this case goes to trial, expect the defense to attack the buckets of evidence separately, right? They're going to attack the DNA evidence separately from the cell phone evidence. Cell phone evidence separately from the evidence of the car. What prosecutors will try and do is bring it all together and tell one story saying, watch the car, follow the cell phone, now match it with the DNA, bring it together. Defense attorneys will try and pick it apart piece by piece.
You talked about the prosecutors because there's still no known motive and there doesn't appear to be a connection between the suspect and the victims. Do prosecutors need to make a connection? Do they need to establish a motive?
They don't. And that remains one of the most bizarre things about this case, right? Which is, why did he do this? Why? And they don't have to answer that question in court to potentially get a conviction. But the world still wants to know.
The families want to know.
The families want to know. Everyone in that community wants to know, why would he have done this? And this certainly does lead people to speculate, was it again just because he was a criminology student trying to see if he could somehow beat the system? We don't know, but that is something that they're continuing to investigate.
I think this will always be a thing that people are going to be obsessing about until we actually hear the truth from the horse's mouth, which is, why did this happen? What was the motive? Why did this happen? who created this? Was it something, what incident I meant? What incident could have created this? Was it just a random run-in? Was it a conversation that any of the four had with Bryan? What could have happened here which set this dude off? And why? And of course, Dan Abrams just said a second ago, okay, in this panel, all right? He said also, like, could it be him just trying to see if he can concoct the perfect crime? Like he's an Annalise Keating. Annalise Keating. Maybe he thinks he's Annalise Keating, trying to see if he can get away with M. I don't know, but it's very strange. With everything that's been displayed, thrown out in front of us, and all that, it still makes you wonder, what is this? The other thing, though, too, the other question I'm going to ask, too, and this is going to sound a little crazy, so just rock with me, y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And, of course, hit that Swagit link, that Swagit app link, if you want a chance to win $100. I'll leave that up here for a little bit. Follow me on Swagit, comment on some of my videos, an opportunity for you to win $100. So go and do that right now as I go into this piece. This is just a little speculation question, and this is a little wild, so just ride with me. All right? What if this is part 2 of his experiment? Hold on. Okay, hold on. Y'all gonna get mad at me. Some of y'all are gonna get mad at me, okay? Because what I'm about to say is a left turn. Okay? It's a left turn. But think about this. This makes me think of like Primal, what's that movie with Edward Norton and Richard Gere? What's that movie, y'all? That's going to drive me crazy. Primal Fear, okay? Just hear me out. And it's not really Primal Fear, but maybe it is too. I don't know. But anyway, what if this is the idea is, what if this is part 2 of his plan? Hold on. What if he wanted to concoct and exact the perfect M? But then at the same time, he wanted to see and expose the system by deliberately leaving the sheath behind. Maybe because he thinks, and maybe he believes, that he can get off. Because he's saying, just because you have a digital fingerprint of my cell phone ping, so on and so forth, and just because you have a sheath without the actual weapon, from what we know so far, doesn't automatically mean that I'm guilty. Could he be doing so? Like I said, this is a left turn, and I don't think this, but this was just popping in my brain, and I'm just saying this out loud. What are the chances of him leaving that behind to mess with the system and try to see if he can actually get off? Wouldn't that be insane? Oh, you got a little bit of DNA, but anyone could have dropped that off. Anyone could have placed that. Doesn't pin me to the scene of the crime. No one can actually ID me because I had a whole face mask thing and you can only see bushy eyebrows, and there's plenty of dudes with bushy eyebrows. Plenty of lanky Caucasian male guys with bushy eyebrows out here in these streets. I'm just saying. I know that's a left turn. Okay? That's a huge left turn, but I'm just throwing out that possibility. What if he's crazy enough just to be like, hey, let me see if I can really get away with it. Fully 110% and going in to the system, be tried by a jury of my peers and still get off. Just a thought. And again, exactly, King Bob. I can't pull up your comment, but he said they don't have the knife. Exactly. They don't have the knife. I want the knife, please. You see what I'm saying? The Golden Child, Eddie Murphy. Go check it out sometime. It's a classic. But anyway, they don't have the knife. They don't have the weapon. They need that smoking gun for the most part. Can they really pin all of this on him with just a knife sheath and some cell phone pings? Those things could be used against him, sure. But there could be plenty of excuses that could be pulled out of his butt with this. Unless he's dumb like the other Brian deterred, and he's Googling like how to get rid of bodies and stuff like that on his computer. Yeah, then that's a him guilty, right? That's a dead giveaway. Now, don't get me wrong. Him guilty, without a shadow of a doubt. But what if there's something more to this? Something more sinister. I know that's like I just wrote a Lifetime movie or a new TV show. Like this would be the 6th episode of or 6th season for How to Get Away with M. But if you really think about it, is the evidence that they have enough to get this man in trouble, to get this man stuck behind bars? We're going to have to find out. We're going to find out for sure. Let me get into some of these super chats because I see a bunch of y'all coming in. I really do appreciate it. Cade for peace. Cadith for peace. Thank you so much for the 20 DKK. My order failed. Have sent message on merch mail. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure we'll make sure that we get back to you because I got my team helping me out and all that. We will respond to you as soon as possible. All right. Thank you so much. Let's get into some more of these super chats because I know there's a few. Hold on, guys. And I appreciate everybody's support, everybody's help, all that stuff. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the conversation because there's a lot going on and I got so many other stories to talk to you guys about today. Woo! I'm going to be a busy man today, but be on the lookout for some pop-up videos, okay? L, thank you so much for the £5. I thought Xana took a delivery at 4 a.m. Yes, she did. Could he have taken the chance, tried the door, and followed her in? Love your show, by the way, Pascal. Love you back. There is a good possibility of that. Yes, there was that DoorDash delivery. But you got to remember, as soon as the DoorDash delivery guy leaves, because he still has to wait for the DoorDash delivery guy to actually get in his car and start driving off before he even tries that door. So she would have already long been inside of her room, probably smashing food, or at least starting to smash food at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, there is a chance that maybe she left that front door unlocked at that time. Maybe she forgot, maybe out of habit. God knows. She was, from my understanding, they were all out drinking and kicking it. It was the weekend and they're college students. So let's put that into consideration as well. So she might have forgotten out of habit because of the whole open door policy thing, right? So there is a possibility that maybe Xana accidentally left the front door unlocked. There is that possibility. But you're telling me that he was there, like then it would have just been pure luck of him being there at the right time when the door gets opened. She closes the door and she just happens to forget to lock the door before she runs back upstairs to the second floor to smash on her Jack in the Box order, which is absolutely sad if you really think about it. And that could have been it too. But then again, that house of all houses, he goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that's the house I'm going to pick tonight. And you see what I'm saying? It's just strange. Could have been, definitely could have been a open door policy type of situation for sure. And it could have been her just accidentally leaving the front door unlocked. And that could have been the small mistake on her or anyone else's end that obviously put them in a very tragic situation. I got a couple other super chats. Hold on, guys. I'm coming. Let's see. Maritza, thank you so much for the 10. Hello, Pascal. He was wearing shoe covers and still left a shoe print in the front door. I can't even stand how stupid this guy is. So sorry for these kids. Absolutely. The guy is an idiot. As much as they say he's a genius, he's a brilliant idiot. Literally. He's a brilliant idiot. And that's some information I didn't know, that he was wearing shoe covers. That's something interesting as well. Pierrette just said, Plunder released a video showing Ellie going to another place and everyone ran to Kaylee's place and ran to the back door till law enforcement left. So guessing back door always unlocked. That could also be it too. I'm sorry, I can't pull your comment on the screen. I'm seeing two different feeds in front of me right now, but I'm seeing that comment. So I do appreciate you saying that. Yes, I did check out Plunder's video this morning. Go check out Plunder's video. That girl, she's just coming in with the heat all the time. Real talk. Go support her. Let her know that I sent you and all that as well, because she's been doing some really great deep dives into this case, as well as a lot of other people. Before you start bombarding me with like, oh, but don't forget them, and I get it. A lot of people have. Okay, everybody's been covering this very, very well. But Plunder has been putting out some really great content around this as well. So just giving credit where credit is due while somebody is bringing that person's name up. Let's see. Okay. Come on. Where are they at? That's when it got muted. Sorry, guys. Again. There it is. Army Mom, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Seriously. Hootie, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I know we got a few new family members that just joined today. We will be getting into those shout outs here in a second. Like Mitchell, thank you so much for becoming a family member. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Of course, you can support this channel just like Mitchell by hitting that join button down below and supporting the channel. We do a lot of stuff on this channel. We talk about a lot of things. We've just been on this tip for a while because there is something big going on tomorrow. BK is reappearing back in court tomorrow. And then I guess we'll find out more information as to what this entails. And then, of course, hopefully we'll find out within this week, within the end of this week, maybe, about when the trial will actually go down. And that could be a year from now, y'all. That could very well be a year from now. Chrissy Bug, thank you so much for the 50. Wow. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Pascal, do you think the DoorDash delivery was actually Bryan sending it or even dropping it off? Okay. They did interview a DoorDash delivery guy. And so he was released. Okay. And of course they checked his data and all that stuff. So apparently there was actually a DoorDash delivery guy for sure. So no, it wasn't him. It wasn't Bryan sending it or even dropping it off, unfortunately. But then it wouldn't make any sense because that would be on the first floor. Xana was found on the second floor. So then that would make the jurisdiction of where her body was found wouldn't make sense to that, because you don't think that he would just instantly attack her right then at the front door. Then there would be a crime scene in the front door of that, on the first floor at the front door of that entire house as well. But let's continue. If the photo of the bag in the house is real, the sticker with Xana doesn't look normal. Or I ordered DoorDash a lot, and I've never seen that on my bags. Now, I know certain places have certain procedures, certain fast food joints, etc. Sometimes they do put the name tags on a bag, especially if they're getting a lot of DoorDash orders at that time, because you got to remember that was 4:00 in the morning. God knows how many other college students were actually calling in or using DoorDash to order Jack in the Box at that time. A lot of people are getting their late night munchies, etc., trying to soak up some of that booze and all that. So there is that possibility of somebody of Jack in the Box using that procedure so that they know, okay, it's Xana, and this one's for Mike, and this one's for Sam. You see what I'm saying? But I can see how somebody who doesn't know that could look at that and go, that does look a little bit strange. But I have actually received DoorDash orders with my name on it, for sure. I mean, they never spell it right, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. But that is a good question, Chrissy Bug. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Rose, welcome. Rose Antello, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Welcome to the family, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you again so very much. Janice International Leadership, she's been a member for the past 4 months. Thank you so much for your support and your member chat here. She says, I think he met the girls at the Greek's restaurant. He is vegan, and then was turned down by one of them. He was watching them over a period of time. I do think that there's something there, for sure. There's definitely something there. There had to have been something there. At the Mad Greek, he is vegan. We did the Google search. You type in vegan restaurants in Moscow, Idaho. Number 1 is Mad Greek. And that's the place where they worked. God only knows that he probably went there hungry, found them, right? Maybe. And then maybe nothing happened. Maybe it just triggered him. Or maybe he made in advance, right? Trying to see if he can take one of them out on a date, and he got rejected either badly or just got rejected. And he took that to heart. Maybe that could be it too. Nisa Marie, thank you so much for becoming a family member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Thank you so very much. I think I got a couple more super chats here. Hold on, guys. But yeah, I mean, this could have been a thing where he tried to say what's up to one of them, but as we heard in that conversation about the girl that was on the date, Haley, that was on the date with him, clearly he doesn't like regular social clues he didn't register those things. It seems like he didn't fully understand those things. So there's a possibility of that actually happening here too, where maybe he was trying to holler, you know what I mean? Say, what's up? You know what I mean? You got some birthing hips, and just was not socially inept. And maybe he got rejected, and he might have been in the perspective of how everybody else looks at a rejection, at a kind rejection. It's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm kind of talking to somebody or whatever. Being rejected, put down gently. He may have taken that as being absolutely insulted and egotistically annihilated. That could have been that too. It could have been a whole thing of, how dare you say no to me? I know that sounds crazy, but maybe those girls could have been just so kind to him and so nice. And that rejection could have set him off. But that could be wrong. Again, that's just speculation. Chrissy Bug, thank you so much for the 10. Pascal, that's what I've been thinking since the affidavit. It seems so dumb that I wonder if it was all part of the plan. Not necessarily to get off, but to see how the whole process of M works. See? Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm not the or maybe I'm not the only crazy one thinking those possible theories. Okay? Like, what are the chances of him actually doing that and just trying to see how far or how intricate, how intense, or if he can actually get away with this and walk out with a big old grin on his face, turn his life into an actual TV show, into a movie, or his own series of Dexter or You. You see what I'm saying? Now, some of y'all might think I'm insane for saying that, but what are the chances? Anything's possible at this point. Sure. Anything's possible at this point, baby. Molly Brown Uptown. Thank you so much. Molly Brown Uptown. Thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it. Where have you been all my life? Love your persona. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been right here, man. In a purple box on the internet. Just sitting here waiting for Molly Brown Uptown to come in and say exactly that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. But I've been in this purple box for a couple years now, just chilling in the cut. Okay. But I appreciate you finding me. Thank you so much. Okay. But yes, guys, I know that this is insane thoughts, or that at least that part, that theory, that part is an insane thought. It's a thought nonetheless. It's just a speculation because it makes you wonder how does that work? How does that all transpire? Right? Where is the weapon? I mean, where is it? Did he bury it somewhere? Did he throw it in a lake? Did he throw it in the middle of the ocean? Where is it? I don't think, and if they don't have it now, I don't think they will ever get it. I hate to say that, but I don't think they are going to get it. So we'll see what happens here. But tomorrow, he goes back into court. There will be another sighting of Bryan Kohberger out here in these streets, looking like the monster that he allegedly is. And we'll find out more information. Okay? And Princess M, yeah, I had to take it down. But my other Christmas tree is still up. So it's going to be up for the rest of this week. And then it goes down. You see what I'm saying? But it was really clutter. It was cluttering up the spot for me. It was just the tree was like there. You know what I mean? It was just like just in my face. You know what I'm saying? So I just need to take it down. But I love that tree. Okay. And you guys will see it again next year. You know what I mean? It's gonna come back for show. Okay. But we'll see what happens here. And exactly, where did he go? Yvonne, exactly. He had a lot of time to dispose of that weapon. I'm sorry. Absolutely. Totally. He had well over a month to do this, y'all, to get rid of that weapon. So God knows where it is. He may have used that trip to throw it out the side of on the interstate. You never know. Someone would have to track his actual drive and comb every nook and cranny of everywhere he went. But I don't think he did it on the cross country trip. I think he did it on his own time and maybe buried it. That's what I think. So we may never know anything. And it also depends. If he goes and gets a plea deal, if he does do that, which obviously that tells me everything, right? That would tell us everything, right? Hopefully he will be telling everyone the information and the truth of what really went down. Was he the only one that was a part of this? Or was he not? Could he have been the last person to run out of that house and Dylan just happens to catch him running towards the sliding glass door? What if? Those things have not been debunked or confirmed yet. So the questions are still lingering. And I know 5-0 is sitting there going, no, we got our guy and it's only one guy. I'm for sure. I'm for certain. You never know. The chances of all this are so vast right now. But one thing we do know is that we got somebody walking into court tomorrow. And we're gonna see what happens, what else comes of this situation. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, Tyler. Sus. And I'm gonna say this too. Him guilty. Period. I think. unless they got something else and they're like, oh my God, he was on a date during the time of the unaliving. So how could he be in two places at the same time? Like, I'm waiting for that to happen, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, my babies. I don't think so. Okay? I don't think so. And I really don't think that any girl is sitting there going, yeah, he told me I had birthing hips, so we went to bed. I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm sorry. No. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Again, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, hey, Brucey Toby just said, wait a second. A date at 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying? A date. You never know. He may have, you know what I'm saying? Betwixt the sheets, the beast, making the beast with two backs. You feel me? Okay? You never know. But I don't think so. Like, I like your hips, the nice birthing hips. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so going to screw you tonight. I don't think that's happening. I really don't. Okay? I really don't. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Again, if you want to win $100, be sure to follow me on the Swag It app. It is pinned to the top of the chat, family chat right now. Click on that link, download the app, follow me, The Pascal Show, one word. Comment on some of my videos, like some of my videos, and you are instantly entered in for a chance to win 100 smackers. New money for the new year, okay? So go and do that right now, all right? That would be greatly appreciated. It's another way to support this channel, another way to support me. That would really, really mean a lot. And of course, before you head off, hit that like button down below. Send those likes past 1K. That would really, really mean the world to me. And please hit that subscribe button, all right? You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the conversation and the controversies that you need. I will be back on with a couple pop-up videos in just a little bit, so be on the lookout for that. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload those videos. And yeah, I may be on tonight for a live. I may not. I'll let you know in the community section of the page. Of course, real quick, Chrissy Bug, thank you so much for the 5. You want to laugh? You want a laugh? I told a guy to tell me I'm an alien because I had a guy tell me I'm an alien because I wouldn't sleep with him because God made us procreate and said, peace out. Wow. He really said that? You're an alien. That don't make no sense. You should be wanting to have sex with me because this is our God-given right to procreate. Now give me some of that candy. That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry that happened to you, Chrissy Bug. But we all have our dates from hell. Let me tell you that. Okay? We've all had a date from hell. I've had my fair share. I'm sure you guys have had yours too. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that in Discord, shall we? All right. But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I appreciate all y'all. You guys have been amazing. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that join button too if you want to support. And I'll see you guys very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys shortly. This is The Pascal Show. Bye. Birthing hips. Bye.